Calling the Colorado Astronomy Net, calling the Colorado Astronomy Net. This is KI0AR. My name is Bernice, and I'll be your net control for this evening's Colorado Astronomy Net. Just a reminder, the 3-minute timeout function is still in effect, so during long transmissions, please allow the repeater systems to reset themselves. Also, please use the word break for emergency or priority traffic. If there is any emergency or priority traffic, please go ahead now. Okay, nothing heard. This is KI0AR net control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. I take, let's see, this net meets every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. That's 0100 Zulu. Wednesdays to discuss topics of an astronomical nature, what's up in the night skies for the week, any other special events that may be of interest to the amateur radio astronomy enthusiasts around the world. Excuse me. Also, this is one of the few nets where your check-in does count. I tally up the numbers and send them off to JPL at the end of each month. It counts as part of their outreach to the general public, of which we are a part. So all check-ins are definitely appreciated. I take check-ins several ways. I take them via NetLogger. Excuse me. Take them via NetLogger. So if you have NetLogger, I'll see your call sign pop up in the AIM window and get you logged in right away. We are also, actually I am also broadcasting on YouTube this evening. So if you happen to be on YouTube, you're more than welcome to let me check into the chat window. And if you have a call sign, that's great. If you don't have a call sign, that's fine too. But that way I can get you checked in officially as well and get you on the list. I will take them over the air in just a few minutes as well. And I will also take them via email. You can send the email to ki0ar@ki0ar.com if you're out there listening and don't have any other way to check in. Or if I happen to bypass you or don't hear you or something like that. I do apologize if that does happen, but you can always send me an email. Let me know you're out there listening. All right. I'm going to let this thing reset and then acknowledge the check-ins I already do have. Okay, let's see. I just saw some weird things. It looked like the the radio stayed open for longer than after I keyed it down or let off the PTT switch. It seemed to stay connected for another minute or so. So that's kind of weird. And I'm hearing other drop-ins, not drop-outs, but drop-ins, and no audio, and a little. So if you do have any issues with hearing me this evening, please let me know either via NetLogger for those of you who are on there. You can post it in the window, or over there on YouTube if you hear something strange, or you can just tell me over the air if you can catch me between check-ins and what have you. We'll figure that out. Right now I am on the Wires X repeater 448.350 here, so that's the digital side. I can easily switch over to the analog if need be. Let's see, I'll go ahead and acknowledge Roy, KI7PKL, thanks for checking in tonight. Kevin, KY4NB, thanks for checking in tonight. John, W2JLS, thanks for checking in tonight. Mike, KO5AOK, thanks for checking in tonight. Caleb, KF0UPB, thanks for checking in tonight. And Moy, N5ZIQ, thanks for checking in tonight. Do appreciate everybody checking in, either through NetLogger or YouTube so far. So right now, I'll go ahead and open up the net. I'll take check-ins. Anyone wishing to check in to tonight's Colorado Astronomy Net, please call with your call sign phonetically twice.
WEAM, Whiskey Echo 8 Mike. David in Highland County, Ohio. Whiskey 6, Romeo Delta Zulu. Whiskey 6, Delta Zulu. Yeah. Whiskey 3, Oscar Romeo, Romeo. Whiskey 3, Oscar Romeo, Romeo. Daryl, Fort Collins, Colorado. Kilo 9er November, Oscar Charlie. Kilo 9er November, Oscar Charlie. Sure. Zero Yankee Lima Hotel Bell with power.
Okay, let's pause there. I'm going to need some fills. I do apologize. A lot of those signals were broken up or doubled on. And for some reason, I'm not exactly sure, I wasn't getting full audio on a lot of those calls. And so you'll have to definitely give me some fills. I have a Kilo Foxtrot 0 Victor something Oscar. If you could give me a fill, I'd appreciate it. Go ahead. Okay, Ron, I got you on the list. KF0VLO, thanks for checking in tonight. And right after Ron, there's another Kilo Foxtrot Zero. And I missed your call entirely, so I do apologize for that. If you remember who you are, I'll get you on the list. Kilo Fox Zero Station. I don't see, okay. Um, there may be one towards the end. I'll need a fill on that one. Go ahead, the person that checked in after Ron there. That was the Highlands Ranch Station. The Highlands Ranch Station, if you could come back with your call sign, I'll get you on the list. Go ahead. This is KI0AR net control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. I'm going to switch over to analog. For some reason, I'm not hearing much over on the digital side tonight. This is KI0AR QSY. Okay, the Kilo Fox Zero station in Highlands Ranch, if you come back and give me your full call, I'd appreciate it, sir. Go ahead.
Kilo Foxtrot Zero, Whiskey X-ray Echo. Kilo Foxtrot Zero, Whiskey X-ray Echo. Danny, Grant.
Okay, Danny, that was much better, at least on my ears anyway. I do appreciate it. Got you checked in. KF0WXE, thanks for checking in tonight. David, we got you on the list. WE8M, thanks for checking in tonight. Australia Station, Victor Echo 3. I know I should know it. If you could come back and you're still listening, I'd appreciate a fill on your call too, please, sir. Go ahead.
Victor Echo 3, Lima, Juliet, Uniform. Victor Echo 3, Lima, Juliet, Uniform. Don, Hamilton, Ontario. This is Papa, Uniform 9, Lima, Charlie, Alpha, from Brazil.
Okay, I think it was Papa Uniform 9 station. If you, let's see, hold on for, yeah, go ahead and give me your call sign again phonetically twice. I'd appreciate it. I'll get you on the list. The something Uniform 9 station. I missed the call because I was getting the other one typed in. If you could give me your call, since that's a DX station, I'll get you on the list, sir. Go ahead. Okay, I'm getting a lot of key ups, but no audio with that. I'll continue on. Um, let's see, Don, I got you on the list. VE3LJU, thanks for checking in tonight. Ed, W6RDZ, we got you on the list. Thanks for checking in tonight. Dave, AF0AS, thanks for checking in tonight. I got an shortwave listener, an SWL, over on the net logger. I'd like to have a name with that and a location, or if you've got a call. I see you popping up in the net logger there. So you may not have a transmitter. That's fine. But if you could post your name over there in the AIM window, I'll get you logged in, and especially if you have any questions later on. But I'd appreciate that. Daryl, W3ORR, thanks for checking in tonight. Patrick, K9NOC, thanks for checking in tonight. Then I had a zero, another zero station with Lima Yankee Hotel or Yankee Lima Hotel or something with those three letters. If you could give me a correction on those, that call, I'll get you checked in. Please go ahead.
Hello, Foxtrot 0, Yankee Lima Hotel, Bill and Power.
Okay, Bill, got you on the list. KF0YLH, thanks for checking in tonight. Bill, that's a new call on the list, so welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. I like to touch base with my first time check-ins. My name is Bernice, that's Bravo Uniform Romeo November Echo Sierra Sierra call sign Kilowatt India 0 Alpha Romeo. I always like to welcome you officially to the Colorado Astronomy Net. I've been doing the net for almost 30 years and like to find out a little bit of information about new check-ins. So as far as your astronomical knowledge, whether you're just starting out, wondering what all those specks of light are in the sky. Well, I know you know there's stars and planets and stuff like that, or you've been doing it for decades like I have, or somewhere in between what your interests are, observational astronomy, radio astronomy, or looking for satellites or spacecraft or what have you. If you could share that with us, Bill, I'd appreciate it. KF0YLH, tell us a little bit about your interest, background in astronomy. Go ahead.
I'm retired and just got into ham radio about 6 months ago and interested in satellites and space station mostly. The regular cycle of the moon and the sun spots.
All right, Bill, we'll talk a little bit about that tonight for some upcoming events next month, and maybe share some other information with you as well. Please stick around. I do have a Q&A session a little bit later on. We have a rocket report, and I will tell you a little bit about how you can spot the ISS passing over satellites and other satellites as well. So please stick around. I apologize for my voice. It's acting up this evening. I wonder if some of that extra smoke is getting to me. But I do appreciate you checking in tonight. All right, and again, welcome to the net there, Bill. There was, I think, a Papa Uniform 9 station out there, out there listening. So a DX station listening, maybe over on Echo Link or where have you. I did not get your full call, but I'll take it now. So if you're still out there, the that might be a Filipino station. I'm not sure. Please go ahead, and I'll get you on the list. All right, I'll check back a little bit later for more check-ins. We got chat out there as well, KF0UUC. Thanks for checking in tonight, chat. I'm going to go ahead and get this ball rolling tonight. I've been putzing around with getting check-ins for those of you are out there. I will look for check-ins a little bit later on. But if you have NetLogger or YouTube, I'll get you checked in right away through those mediums and get you on the list anyway. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Announcements. I publish a monthly astronomy newsletter via email and the World Wide Web. If you wish to subscribe to the email version of my newsletter, please send me an email to ki0ar@ki0ar.com and request to be put on the list. Or you may visit the website at www.ki0ar.com/astro.html. And at the top of the web page is also a spot where you may submit your email address and get subscribed to the email version of my newsletter as well. If you don't want to remember all that, just Google my call sign, KI0AR. You'll find a whole bunch of links, including links to the web page and the newsletter. I also volunteer with a youth group called the International Association for Astronomical Studies, a youth group that meets out at Strasburg, Colorado on Friday evenings from 6 until 8 p.m. Always looking for new members, freshmen through senior high school age students interested in astronomy, amateur radio, high-power rocketry, remote control aircraft flying, full-scale aircraft construction, archaeoastronomy, radio astronomy, and balloon launch communications. More than welcome to visit our website at iaas.org for more information. Also, the IAAS has a Facebook presence, so if you have Facebook, check out the International Association for Astronomical Studies on Facebook. Also, a reminder that the Colorado Astronomy Net also has a Facebook page. So if you have Facebook, be sure to hop on there and like us both. Also, I want to go ahead and plug Jack's flight simulation presentations on Mondays and Wednesday nights. He does a flight. He did it in Oregon around Mount Hood last night in a DC-3. Very realistic, kind of fun to watch the landmarks as they went by, and he flew over them. Very accurate simulation flying that he does for sure. That's Captain Jack Flight Sim. That's Captain Jack Flight Sim on YouTube, the CAPNJACKFLTSIM. That's Mondays and Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time until whenever he decides to land. It's nice to ride along with him and other flight simmers and amateur radio operators and anybody else that's interested in tagging along for sure. You're all welcome. That's it for the announcements. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Okay, I'm going to get into the local astronomical news and wrap up this month. So, of July. Not much else happening in July right now, but we'll continue on. We had a first quarter moon last Tuesday, the 21st. We got a full moon tomorrow night. So waxing gibbous tonight. So nearly full moon tonight if you've got clear skies. The moon was at perigee back on the 13th, its closest approach to the Earth this month. It was 223,142 miles from Earth. The moon will be at apogee, its farthest point away from the Earth this month. On the was at its farthest on the 25th. It was 251,996 miles from Earth. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and give you the perigee for next month, and we'll talk a little bit about that in a minute too, and I'll tell you why we give perigees and apogees. The moon will be at apogee, or excuse me, it will be at perigee, or its closest approach to the Earth next month on the 10th. It will be 225,734 miles from Earth, and the moon will be at apogee, its farthest point away from the Earth, next month on the 22nd. It will be 251,433 miles from Earth. For next month, just a couple of teasers. The new moon occurs on the 12th. And for that new moon, there is a total solar eclipse. So it's only 2 days away from perigee. So that's one reason you get a total solar eclipse when the moon is closest to the Earth. And that eclipse will be covering Greenland, Iceland, and Spain. So that will be next month on the 12th. And then the full moon occurs on the 28th. And on that particular night, there is a partial lunar eclipse, which is covering the U.S. So a couple of teasers for next month, along with, I'll talk about the other teasers coming up when we get to them. Planetary highlights for July. Venus and Jupiter remain visible in the evening sky soon after sunset in early July. We've missed Jupiter. So there'll be some ad libs here for this. In the morning sky, there's lots of planetary action. We got Saturn rises earlier, and now placing it in a dark sky for a couple of hours. We missed the conjunction back on the 4th. And let's see, Mercury has rounded the sun and reappears in the morning sky in the last few days of the month. Some of that was from Astronomy Magazine, July 2026, page 34. So I ad-libbed on some of that. Mercury was at inferior conjunction back on the 12th. That means it was between us and the sun on that particular day. The Mercury was stationary on the 23rd, meaning that it does not appear to move forward nor backward relative to the background skies on that day. After conjunction, Mercury has returned to the morning sky, rising about 4:30 a.m. by month's end. Mercury is visible in the eastern sky during the last week of the month, about 30 minutes before sunrise. So now's the time to see if you might be able to spot Mercury very low on the eastern horizon. Mercury is in the constellation of Gemini, shining at magnitude 0.5 on the 31st. Okay, quick tutorial on magnitudes. The magnitude scale is an inverse logarithmic scale, meaning as the magnitudes go up, the apparent brightness of an object decreases by a factor of about 2.5. The dimmest object that the human eye can see is about 6th magnitude under optimal conditions. A magnitude 5 object is 2.5 times brighter than a magnitude 6 object, while a magnitude 7 object is 2.5 times dimmer. The magnitude scale is set up so that every 5 magnitudes is a 100-time difference in brightness. So a magnitude 1 object is 100 times brighter than a magnitude 6 object. And any of these objects at whatever magnitudes I do mention is definitely worth pointing telescopes and binoculars towards, especially for the brighter object to get the detail, for the dimmer object just to see for sure. Venus is setting about 10:08 p.m. by month's end. Look for Venus to the west about 30 minutes after sunset. Venus moves from the constellation of Leo into Virgo, shining at magnitude -4.2. So Venus is now very prominent in the western sky. Very easy. In fact, it's going to be the first object you see in the night sky. Earth was at its farthest, or aphelion, from the sun back on the 6th. It was 94.5 million miles away. Mars is rising about 2:24 a.m. by month's end. Look for Mars to the southeast in the morning about 30 minutes before sunrise. Mars, let's see. Mars is in the constellation of Taurus, shining at magnitude 1.3. And we have Jupiter in conjunction with the sun tomorrow. Jupiter is, after conjunction, and Jupiter will return to the morning sky, rising about 5:49 a.m. by month's end. Jupiter is not visible for the rest of this month and won't be visible until definitely after the first week or so of August in the early morning sky. Jupiter is in the constellation of Cancer, shining at magnitude 1.8. You'll definitely have to wait until it does get higher in the morning sky to spot it, so it gets out of the sun's morning twilight glow. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net, continuing. Okay, we got Saturn. Saturn is rising about 11 p.m. by month's end, so now it is in the evening, but still, give it some time to wait until after midnight to see if you can spot Saturn. Look for Saturn, actually look for Saturn towards the south in the very early morning hours before sunrise. So, 2, 3 a.m., give it a chance to get well above the horizon. Saturn is in the constellation of Pisces, shining at magnitude 0.7. And then we got Uranus rising about 1:15 a.m. by month's end. Uranus is actually rising about an hour or so before Mars. So a good 15 degrees up in the sky above Mars. So they were in conjunction back on the 4th when they were closest, but now it's a little bit more difficult to find Uranus, but still. Look towards the southeast in the morning before sunrise as well. Uranus is in the constellation of Taurus, shining at magnitude 5.8. We got Neptune. Neptune will be rising about 10:30 p.m. By month's end. So leading Saturn by about a half an hour. So actually those two may be a little easier to spot. Look for Neptune towards the south in the morning sky before sunrise. Neptune is in the constellation of Pisces, shining at magnitude 7.7. So Neptune is a full 7 magnitudes dimmer than Saturn. So that's going to be a challenge, especially with the full moon. For our dwarf planets, we got Ceres rising about 2:41 a.m. by month's end. Ceres can be spotted low to the southeast in the morning sky before sunrise. Ceres is in the constellation of Taurus, shining at magnitude 9.0. We got several constellations. We got, several planets in Taurus. We got Mars, Uranus, and Ceres, the dwarf planet, all in Taurus this month. But you'll have to work at it a little bit to at least spot Uranus and Ceres. We got Pluto, was at opposition yesterday, rising as the sun sets. Pluto is rising about 8:06 p.m. by month's end. Pluto can be spotted to the south before sunrise. So definitely wait about 4 or 5 hours for that. Pluto appears at its best for the year in late July, and that's right now. Pluto is in the constellation of Capricornus, shining at magnitude 15.0. Unfortunately, you're looking at the full moon or close to it. We got the full moon tomorrow as well. So that is still going to be up and making it extremely difficult to spot Pluto. And as always, good luck at spotting Neptune, Ceres, and Pluto. A large telescope and dark skies will be needed. Meteor showers. We got 2 meteor showers ongoing, and one gonna be just starting pretty soon. We have the southern Delta Aquarids. This meteor shower has a duration of July 14th through August 18th. Maximum hourly rate of 15 to 20 occur on July 28th and 29th. So get out there in the early morning hours and see if you can see some of those brighter meteors tonight, tomorrow morning, tomorrow night. However, you will have the moon to contend with, so all you're going to see are the bright ones. We do have the northern Delta Aquarids extends from July 16th through September 10th. Maximum occurs on August 13th. The hourly rate reaches a high of 10. And right during that time, we do have the annual Perseids meteor shower, one of the best meteor showers of the year, which peaks on the morning of August 12th. Luckily, the moon will not interfere. It'll be a new moon, so you won't have any worries about seeing those. The best time to observe the Perseids is anywhere from the 6th or 7th of August through the 20th, the week plus or minus the peak. And from experience, it is definitely good to get out almost every single night or any single night prior to and after the peak, because this is one of the steadier meteor showers. So you should see quite a few leading up to, during the peak, and afterwards. And the peak is usually about 60 to 80 meteors per hour. And this year you have a good chance of possibly seeing even more than that under dark sky conditions. So look for those in the next several weeks. So plenty of meteor activity occurring. The best time to spot meteor showers is, of course, after midnight, between midnight and dawn. However, if you can't stay up that late, do get out in the evening, and you might be able to catch a few of those meteors skipping through the upper atmosphere. Those are quite interesting to spot if you have a chance to be in the right place at the right time. That's the trick. We do have a comet, Comet 10P Temple, or Temple 2 is shining around 7th magnitude right now and passing through the constellations of Aquarius and Capricornus. Another challenge to spot this one with the near full moon at this point. And that is it for the local astronomical news. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. I'll go ahead and acknowledge Paul, WA7GBL. Thanks for checking in tonight. And we got just a second. We got Stephen, KM6VAY, checking in via YouTube. So thanks for that. So anyone else wishing to check into tonight's Colorado Astronomy Net, please call with your call sign phonetically twice. All right, nothing heard. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Let me pull up, where is it? Here we go. I'll start off with ISS passes. If you're interested in ISS passes over your local area, you may want to check out this website, www.heavens-above.com. That's www.heavens-above.com. And I do recommend that you sign up for it and log in and enter in your home coordinates. That way you can get more accurate timings and star charts for those particular passes. Right now I have over on YouTube the only visible pass over the Denver area for the next 10 days, which is actually coming up at about 9:27 p.m. I'm going to pull that star chart up right now over on YouTube so you can see it. You get a nice star chart that will fill up a nice 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. You can print this out, take it outside, and you can compare it to the night sky that you see and which bright stars you're looking at right now. It's passing across the southern part of our sky here in Denver. But you'll have different passes dependent on your location around the world and chances to spot that again. That website is www.heavens-above.com. And that's it for that bulletin for this evening. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Okay, I've got a bulletin for you this evening from JPL, dated July 22nd. NASA's Juno takes temperature of Jupiter's fiery moon Io. The first measurements of the subsurface of the most volcanic world in the solar system reveal heat rising from below. NASA's Juno mission has provided the first measurements of the temperature below the surface of Jupiter's moon Io, revealing significant heating within the shallow subsurface of the most volcanically active world in the solar system. Collected during 2 close flybys, the data also shows that most of Io's surface is remarkably smooth and composed of material of very low density. Published Wednesday in the Journal of Geophysical Research, Planets, these findings breaks new observational ground for both fiery and icy worlds beyond our planet. Io's extreme volcanism is powered by tidal heating. The moon is constantly stretched and squeezed by Jupiter's immense gravity, and as it travels its slightly elliptical orbit, generating internal heat output many times greater than Earth's. Until now, virtually everything known about that heat came from infrared observations, which sense only the temperature of the top surface. The latest findings are derived from data collected by the spacecraft's Microwave Radiometer Instrument, or MWR. The Juno Microwave Radiometer directly observed Io's heat output by looking below the surface, said Scott Bolton, study co-author and Juno's principal investigator at Southwest Research Institute in San Antonio. The surprising discovery that we could see below a rocky moon's surface has important implications for studying Earth's volcanoes. Juno has taught us that if we look with an MWR-type instrument near a volcano on Earth, we might see a similar signature in the subsurface temperature gradient, providing new information on how terrestrial volcanoes work. Fire and ice. Juno's microwave radiometer was designed by Bolton to peer beneath Jupiter's cloud tops to investigate the dynamics and composition of the gas giant's deep atmosphere. The MWR's 6 microwave antennas serve as a single instrument, simultaneously detecting microwaves at a wide range of wavelengths, from about ½ an inch to 20 inches, or 1.3 to 51 centimeters. During the mission's extended phase, the MWR instrument has provided the opportunity to observe 3 of the planet's Galilean moons, Ganymede, Europa, and Io. The technique is novel in that each wavelength explores different depths, providing a new way to characterize the deep atmosphere of giant planets and the subsurface crusts of icy and rocky moons, said Bolton. At Ganymede and Ganymede and Europa, we explored tens of miles below the surface, assuming their ice shells were mostly pure water. But the ability to probe into the volcanic rock at Io was an unexpected discovery. During flybys on December 30th, 2023 and February 3rd, 2024, the solar-powered Juno spacecraft came within about 930 miles or 1,500 kilometers of the moon's surface. The instrument measured Io's thermal emission at depths ranging from a few inches down to tens of feet. Everywhere we looked, we found the temperature rising by more than 40 degrees Fahrenheit just several feet into the surface, a gradient far steeper than solar heating alone can explain, said Shannon Brown, the paper's lead author at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Southern California. The data suggests two possible explanations. First, heat could be rising steadily through a conductive crust, while this background heat flow, measured at 1 to 3 watts per square meter, is relatively gentle on a local scale, roughly equivalent to a small nightlight glowing under every square yard. Across the entire moon, it represents a release of energy up to 30 times Earth's average. Alternately, the signal could be coming from cooling lava flows capped by roughly 30 to 35 feet or 9 to 11 meters of solidified crust that cover about 10% of the moon's surface at any given time. Io provides a unique window into learning of how tidal heating works throughout the cosmos, a fundamental process that provides energy and heat to worlds that are far from their parent star, said Bolton. This process can not only create the most volcanic body in the solar system, in the case of Io, but also fuels the subsurface oceans on the moons of giant planets such as Europa and Ganymede. Up until this point, we could only observe the heat escaping at the surface or through eruptions. Now we can characterize how the heat is moving from the interior toward the surface. The Great Plains of Io. Another big insight gained from 2 flybys is just how smooth Io is. Prior to the recent findings, the moon was known for its tall mountains, but the MWR indicates that apart from this visible topography, the surface features expansive, smooth patches that stretch for 60 miles or 100 kilometers or more. Because Juno flew by overlapping regions of Io at different angles, the team was able to map how the surface reflects microwaves. Much like an airline passenger might see the ocean flash with sunlight only at specific angles. Away from its mountains, the surface is more like the Great Plains of North America, and even though Io is a rocky body, the surface material has a very low density, more like pumice or a fluffy volcanic ash than solid rock, said Brown. More about Io. A division of Caltech in Pasadena, California, JPL, manages the Juno mission for the principal investigator, Scott Bolton of the Southwest Research Institute. Juno is part of NASA's New Frontiers program, which is managed at the agency's Marshall Space Flight Center in Huntsville, Alabama, for the NASA's Science Mission Directorate in Washington. Lockheed Martin Space in Denver built and operates the spacecraft. More information about Juno is at https://www.nasa.gov/Juno. And that's it for that bulletin for this evening. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Okay, I'm going to call on, who am I going to call on? John, W2JLS, for tonight's astronomy history lesson. You may want to keep it relatively short there, John. My voice is wearing out, and I'm not sure where. Haven't seen any texts from Ed about his availability to do the rocket report for this evening. If not, I will be happy to give the rocket report after your history note. W2JLS, John, are you ready to give us our history note? Go ahead.
Yeah, I got an email from Ed earlier, so I know he's out there, and I did check in. I had the feeling he was traveling, so hopefully we're long enough here that maybe he's able to pick up his rocket report on his own. Otherwise, it sounds like he's got it under control. So anyway, with that, I'm going to get into this week's history blurb, as you call it. The man in the moon remembered. So with that, this is John W2JLS transmitting from Fairlawn, Ohio. We'll wish you, Barnes, KI0AR, and Rocket Man Ed on the road there, W6RTZ, and everybody listening to the Colorado Astronomy Net. A very good evening on your ears. So for tonight's history of space and astronomy, we're going to take a trip to the far side of the moon, to a place while standing on Earth no one could ever really see. There on that hidden hemisphere is a battered crater, and nothing really to gossip about. It's a battered crater, maybe 35 miles across. Today on lunar maps, it bears a curious, maybe seemingly trivial name, crater Harriot. Now, if I were to tell you that there is a crater on the moon named Galileo or Copernicus, you wouldn't be surprised, but and you know why. You know who those gentlemen are. But if I say crater Harriot, you're wondering, who was Harriet? Why does the moon remember him when history largely hasn't? To find that answer, we're going to travel back more than 4 centuries to the evening of July 26, 1609. So roughly this week in history, something like 417 or so years ago. At that time, a 5-day-old crescent moon hanging over the time what was west of London. And while on that evening he threw a small 6-power magnification scope, was the gentleman called Thomas Harriot, one of the great Renaissance minds of his time, who most of us have never really heard of. This gentleman Harriot was an English mathematician, astronomer, and scientist. He worked as a researcher and tutored under the financial support of wealthy nobles like Sir Walter Raleigh and Henry Percy, the Earl of Northumberland. Harriot was an explorer in the sense of the word. For example, he was a key member of an exploration that went to the United States, or was what was later to become the United States. He was a member of the Roanoke expedition sponsored by Sir Walter Raleigh, and he learned the language of the Algonquin Indians, for example. This guy was a polymath. He was into it all. So that evening, where he's looking up through this new scope, which was based on a Dutch invention that was released just sometime very shortly before, he decided to use one of these new, it's called a Dutch trunky, or trunk. So this is basically like a pretty primitive telescope made by a gentleman in the Netherlands who was a spectacle maker at the time. By combining lenses in a tube, he was able to come up with this primitive scope magnifying something like 6x. So this gentleman Harriot, this week, years ago, was the first to look up and actually draw the moon. His first drawing distant moon. The boundary between light and darkness, and a few shadowy markings are rendered in this sketch, which is now recognized as the earliest known telescopic drawing of an astronomical object. Pretty impressive. Harriet had beaten Galileo to the moon by several months. Continued observing and producing increasingly detailed maps. And the cartographer Harriet read the moon's bright, dark regions as lands and seas, calling one dark oval the Caspian. The name didn't survive, but the idea did. We still call those dark basalt plains Maria, Latin for seas. I did some research. I could see that goes back as far as the ancient 15th century earlier. For example, Plutarch had compared the lunar markings, which you can see without assistance. He compared those to lunar hollows to the seas. So this notion of Maria and seas has been around for a while. But clearly, Harriet, in his drawings, actually named one of them after the Caspian Sea. So, kind of a neat story here. Here this guy is super brilliant. He recorded all of these things, his observations, first drawings of the moon. He was ahead of many scientists in other realms too. Snell's law, the sign of refraction law that some of you are familiar with. Harriet beat Snell to the punch on that. He also beat to binary arithmetic, and he had a notoriously large collection of sunspot observations, which is useful in modern times. Again and again, this guy was reaching intellectual territory that would later be credited through our version of history to others, because Harriet never published anything. He just wrote it down. Galileo, on the other hand, he observed all these things a few months after, the moon renderings of Harriet. Galileo had published his own. He put together his famous book, the Sidereus Nucleus, the Starry Messenger, inviting all of Europe through, his drawings and here through what he saw on the telescope itself, sharing the experience he had with the rest of the world. So while Harriet may have seen this stuff, he didn't say anything. Yep, saw it and made the world understand. So it's kind of neat. So much of Harriet's work lay buried there in his manuscripts until the 1780s and was still largely ignored. His lunar maps, for example, didn't surface until 1965. And then kind of interesting. There's a lesson maybe in this. The discovery can happen in solitude, but the revolution begins with when you share it, right? So 5 years after his lunar map appeared in print, the International Astronomical Union placed his name on a crater located appropriately enough, on the moon's far side. Harriet had been the first to place the telescopic moon on paper. And then more than 3.5 centuries later, after his writings and drawings came to light, astronomers placed Harriet's name there on the dark side, to the far side of the moon. So there it remains in the hemisphere forever turned away from us, rather a fitting home for a man whose discovery spent so long beyond our ability to see. So here, once put the moon on a map, and in the end, the moon put Harriet back on the map. So with that, Barnes and all, good evening on your ears. This is W2 JLS passing it back to Mission Control.
Okay, thanks for that, John. I do appreciate the history lesson there. It's a nice little addition to the Colorado Astronomy Net. Hopefully everybody else appreciates that as well. Let me acknowledge over on YouTube, H-Town Padre, thanks for that, says your father's a ham. That we take everybody, at least over on YouTube, but definitely encourage you to maybe get your license one day, who knows. But he's got some questions. Let's see, you're in Texas. Let's see, where is it? Oh, all right. Okay, amateur astronomer. He says, do you have a call sign? That'd be even better. You can see the stars. I'm going to bring my kind of basic telescope to show things to my friends. Okay, you betcha. Right now, Venus is up. Very prominent in the eastern sky. You won't see Jupiter, not for another several weeks in the morning sky. It is hidden, it is lost in the twilight glow of the sun. You won't see that. Of course, the moon, right now the moon is in full phase, so it's going to be difficult to see a lot of the stuff. There's tons of stuff to look at. Andromeda would be difficult. Saturn, you'll have to wait until around midnight or so to spot that one. But I don't know what else. You'll see a lot of these objects are in the morning sky after midnight, so you have to stay up a little bit later to watch that. But get out now to see if you can see some of the Perseid meteor showers over there. And let's see, H-Town Padre, if I could get a first name with that, I'd appreciate it. And welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net for sure. Well, if you're out under dark skies, yes, you can see the Milky Way, but with a full moon right now, you may have to wait a couple of weeks. And the moon is definitely going to detract from early morning viewing coming up with the full moon tomorrow. If you're planning on doing the weekend. The planets are in the morning sky. You may want to, you can always send me an email, ki0ar@ki0ar.com, and ask some more questions, and I can look a little more deeply into what's up in the night skies that may be of interest. But right now I'm going to call on Ed, W6RDZ, for the tonight's rocket report. Ed, are you ready to give the rocket report for this evening? Go ahead.
Good evening, Bernard, and good evening, Jeanette. This is Rocket Man Ed, W6RDZ, ready to rock and roll with the rocket report for Tuesday the 28th. We're going to look back to the 21st and forward to August 4th. We had 4 launches last week. I'm going to go back to Bernard and have him give me a level check.
Okay, Ed, your solid copy tonight. This is KI0AR net control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Go ahead.
All right, thank you, Bernard. Yes, where were we? Only had 4 rocket launches last week, but one of them was a big one. But we'll start with Thursday, July 23rd. China Aerospace and Science Corporation, or CASIX, launched the Tianlin 2-06 mission on a Long March 3B/E from LC2 at the Chichang Satellite Launch Center at 0600 Mountain Daylight Time. The payload was a geostationary communication relay satellite. The launch vehicle was struck by lightning around T plus 35 seconds with no adverse effects. It was the 175th orbital launch of 2026. I'm just wondering who else remembers the Apollo 12 launch when the moon-bound Saturn V with a crew of 3 was struck twice by lightning on and a little after liftoff. Mission Econ controller John Aaron made the mission-saving call. Try SCE to AUX. We've got some links there to the lightning strike and some commentary from Scott Manley on the links. All right. Second launch was the big one. Starship Lucky Test Flight 13 successfully launched Thursday, July 24th at 16:45 Mountain Daylight Time. It was an incredibly successful mission, nearly flawless, and paved the way for orbital launch and a ship catch back at Starbase for Test Flight 14 late next month, August. The countdown went smoothly in great weather this after two scrubs allowed for cloudy weather the day before. At T0, all 33 Raptor engines on booster 20 ignited, and the ship jumped off the pad under full power. This ascent was performed at a higher thrust and achieved a higher max Q in a shorter time and at a lower altitude than ever before. All of booster 2033 Raptors remained lit until MECO, most engine cut off. Hot staging occurred perfectly. Flight 12 timing and orientation issues proved resolved. All 6 of Ship 20's Raptors fired up and the ship continued boosting on its normal flight path through MECO. All right, I'm going to reset the repeaters there. W6 RDZ, back with the rocket report. Ship 40 continued on, achieving all of its flight goals. All 6 Raptors remained lit until MECO. The ship demonstrated a rocket engine relight in space, a long-duration test burn there. 20 Starlink V3 satellites deployed from the Pez dispenser functioned and made laser communication connections with the mega constellation. The ship made a smooth and uneventful re-entry over the Indian Ocean. Ship 40 made the softest landing on the water ever. It was spectacular. The booster landed so softly in the water and it tipped on its side so gently that the fuel tanks did not rupture. No kaboom. We saw some minimal and short-lived flames as methane was vented. The flames self-extinguished quickly without issue. Ship 40 is still floating in the Indian Ocean like a 10-story whale. Almost all the heat shield tiles are intact. It was a sight to behold. Some speculated that SpaceX might tow Ship 40 to Australia for recovery. However, SpaceX said yesterday that Ship 40 is not planned for a full physical recovery or tow back to land. On-site recovery teams are using the site for on-water inspections before the vehicle is scuttled. Onward and upward to Flight 714. I'm going to reset the repeater. W6 RDZ back with the rocket report. Saturday, July 25th at 9:09:51 Mountain Daylight Time, SpaceX successfully launched Starlink Group 17-51 on a Falcon 9 from Vandenberg. 24 Starlink V2 minis went to sun-synchronous orbit. It was booster 1100's 8th flight and the 300 consecutive successful landing. It was SpaceX we have 8 upcoming launches on the docket for next week. We'll reset our repeater. W6RDZ, back with the rocket reports for the Colorado Astronomy Net. First launch tomorrow, Wednesday, July 29th at 0550 Mountain Daylight Time. China Aerospace and Science Corporation, CASIC, plans to launch the launch of an undisclosed payload on a Long March 7 rocket departing Wenchang. 2, also tomorrow, CASIC intends to launch an undisclosed payload on a Long March 6A rocket from the Taiwan Satellite Launch Center. Third launch of the week, Thursday, July 30th, SpaceX is scheduled to launch the NROL 95 mission on a Falcon 9 departing Slick 40 Cape Canaveral. Fourth launch, Thursday, July 30th at 2000 hours. SpaceX intends to launch Starlink Group 17-52 from Vandenberg. Monday, August 3rd, SpaceX looks to launch Starlink 15-53 from Slick 4E Vandenberg Space Force Base. And finishing week Tuesday, August 4th at 0250 Mountain Daylight Time, CASIC plans to launch an undisclosed payload on a Long March 8A from Wenchang. Let's reset the repeaters. W6RDZ, back with tonight's rocket report. Going on to some space news, 2 items of interest. One, NASA astronaut Chris Williams landed with Expedition 74 Roscosmos astronaut Sergei Kuznetsov and Sergei Mikhailov in Kazakhstan on Sunday. The crew spent 8 months in orbit aboard the ISS. Williams, on his first space flight, completed 2 spacewalks to prep for space station power upgrade and replace a faulty joint in the Canadarm2 robotic arm. And lastly, of particular interest to Mike, KL7FR in Willow, Alaska, Rocket Lab announced it will establish a new launch site in Alaska. In a $266 million deal with Space Force, the new Kodiak facility will support up to 18 suborbital missions for military weapons testing. That's it for tonight's Colorado Astronomy Net. This rocket report. This is W6RDZ, Rocket Man Head, wishing you a good night and nominal flight. Now back to Starman Burnett, KI0AR, Capcom Mission Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net.
All right, Ed, thanks for that. Do appreciate you checking in tonight. Or, well, I'm all tongue-tied. Do appreciate you giving the rocket report for tonight for sure. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, I acknowledge Stephen. Robert, AA5AH, thanks for checking in tonight. H-Town Padre over on YouTube, welcome. That's a new on the net as well, so welcome. And Rick, VA3RKL, thanks for checking in tonight. Let's see. So to appreciate that. And okay, we got you, Joe. Thanks for that. Welcome to the net. I do appreciate that. I always like to acknowledge. So, Joe, since you're new, if you can post over on YouTube what your experience level of expertise is in astronomy there, whether you're just starting out. I do see you want to take your scope out and see what's in the night skies and show to your friends. That's very cool. Always like sharing the night sky. There is still a lot of stuff, but you will have to contend with a full moon coming up tomorrow. So if you've got plans for the weekend, you're going to have get out early. I mentioned a few things over there on the YouTube that you can easily spot, at least if you can catch it before moonrise. Will be a little bit better, but once the moon gets high enough, you're going to be washed out for a lot of the stuff. The Ring Nebula, easy to spot under dark skies. Double cluster in Cassiopeia, easy to spot. Take a look at Venus. You'll see Venus is not a solid, or it is not a disk. It is actually a half a planet if you take a look at it. So check that out. Tons of stuff. Yeah, the Milky Way, a little tougher with the full moon. You'll see the brighter stars. Look for Cygnus the Swan. Looks like a cross up there. That's the swan flying through the Milky Way. Cassiopeia very close behind as well. Looks like a W. And towards the lower part is where the double cluster is. The double cluster is two open or kind of globular clusters of stars that you can see through a scope. All right, Joe, is your dad listening to tonight's net as well? I'll get him on the list too. KI5WWU. We'll add that aspect. Let me know if he's listening too, and we'll get him on the list and welcome him aboard.
Kilo India 5 Whiskey Uniform, Lynn in Houston, checking in. Thanks for chatting with Joe.
Okay. KI5WWU. Do you go by Bill or William? Welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. Go ahead.
Thanks for taking that check-in. I go by Lynn, L-Y-N-N. It is what it is. I always enjoy your net. I've listened for a bunch. And Joe was over and he took some astronomy in college. And I said, let's take a second and look at this. And so we've been watching since about 8:30. Back to you. KI5WWU.
All right, Lynn, no problem. Welcome to the net. My name is Bernus. That's Bravo Uniform Romeo November Echo Sierra Sierra, and the call sign Kilowatt India 0 Alpha Romeo. So thanks for listening. What's your background in astronomy? Go ahead, please.
My background in astronomy isn't very deep. Joe's the one who's understands it better. I have a private pilot's license, but about 10,000 feet is about as close to the stars as I get.
All right, Lynn, no worries, but I bet you've seen some sights up there at 10,000 feet flying around at night anyway. Yeah, we got some pilots on here. Like I mentioned every time, you may want to check out Jack, KE0VH's flight sims. He's got some pilots on there too. I mean, he always likes to have pilots on there. Give him tips every now and then about the various planes he's flying. So yeah, check that out. Captain Jack Flight Sim on Mondays and Wednesdays. Yeah, we got all levels of experience, and so I'm glad you shared that with Joe. And welcome to both you and Joe tonight. So do appreciate that. Appreciate you hopping on the air tonight. All right, this is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Anyone else wishing to check into tonight's Colorado Astronomy Net before I go down the list, please call with your call sign phonetically twice.
This is Kilo Juliet 5, Romeo Alpha Charlie, Phil in Liberty Hill, Texas.
Apologies, my my screen went blank for just a second. I was typing it in and almost disappeared. If you could give me your call sign again, I'll get you on the list. Go ahead.
This is Kilo Juliet 5, Romeo Alpha Charlie.
Hey, pardon the noises there. It's better than saying some choice four-letter words. Good evening to you, Phil. KJ5RAC, thanks for checking in tonight. Appreciate it. Oh, okay. Now's the time for everyone else to contribute to the net. Questions, comments, observation reports, anything you'd like to pass along to the net, now's the time to do it. All right. Who else have we got? We got George 4175. So I do appreciate that. All right, let's see. George 4175, if you could post, I'm assuming it's the first name is George. We'll put you down there. If you could put down a location and your interest. Well, I see you're interested in both ham radio and astronomy. We talk about more astronomy, but we can talk ham radio a little bit later as well. No worries there. Appreciate you checking in via YouTube. I'll get that down on the list in a sec there. But welcome to the net. If you could post your interests and background in astronomy, I'll pass that along to the rest of the crew as well. Like I said, now's the time for everyone else to contribute to the net. Questions, comments, observation reports, and that goes for you guys over on YouTube. You post them in the chat, I'll pass them along. Since we do have a fair amount of check-ins from YouTube tonight too, so great to see that. And definitely hit that like button and subscribe. Appreciate that. First on the list tonight is Roy, KI7PKL. Good evening to you, Roy. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Hey, it was an evening Bruce and everybody on the net. And hey, it's a pretty nice day here. And nice tonight, but of course the moon is pretty close to full, so won't be shutting up the telescope. But hey, I'm processing my images from the last night that I was out several nights ago, and combining all the nights together, and all of that stuff. So hopefully I'll be putting up an image or two here in the next few days. So time. everybody's having a good night, and we will talk to you down the line. Cash up, be hail.
All right, Roy, if you could do me a favor, since I'm getting real close to publishing the next month's newsletter, you know how I always like to share your picks. If you've got some new ones up, I'll definitely share those. So you can just ping me and let me know you got a new one up there. No rush, no rush, but definitely, you know, I like to do that for you. Roy, appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight, and definitely appreciate seeing your new picks. If anybody wants to see some of Roy's astrophotography work, you can check out his QRZ webpage under his call KI7PKL. Check that webpage out. You'll see a whole bunch of stuff that he's doing. Also his neat setup as well that he does uses for astrophotography. Quite the setup there, Roy. Appreciate you sharing that with us too. Next on the list is Kevin in Tennessee, KY4NB. Good evening to you, Kevin. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. Next on the list is John, W2JLS. Good evening to you, John. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
KI0AR Burnett. Good evening, sir. I'm looking at just looking at the website there, the collection of photos that Roy has on his Stewart page. I've enjoyed Roy's work before. He's shared things, and it seems like that his hydrogen alpha scope, and I've seen that stuff on here, but I want to say that was Roy shared some of that one that was amazing. But I'm looking at his shots in here, and anyone that hasn't checked out Roy's Stewart page, you should do that using your computer. Amazing work, actually. And hard to call what he's doing amateur. Like particularly looking at M51, the Whirlpool galaxy, spectacular. And I love behind it. I talked about this the galaxy immediately behind M51 is never really been given a proper name. I remember on one of the shows here trying to stir up, hey, let's give this thing a name. Brilliant. I was thinking to spin. I would say last week we were in the first quarter moon, and we were still in Northeast Ohio. We were suffering with a lot of smoke from the Canadian wildfires, which are still kind of vexing us since then. I've been enjoying clearer skies since last week, and occasionally rainy nights. Like last night, I was woken up at like 3 in the morning with a nice thunderstorm here in Fairlawn, Ohio. But you know, over the course of the week, I did enjoy some clear skies and had a nice couple of looks at the moon. And we're moving through gibbous, and I think we're approaching full moon tomorrow. So yeah, nice to do without the smoke. So I didn't hear you guys mention it out in Colorado today, so maybe it's clearing up out there as well. W2JLS sending it back to mission control.
All right, John. Yeah, it's clearing up a little bit. There's still some haze, but not as bad as it has been. but it's still out there. Had an interesting little thing from over there on YouTube from Joe there. Joe asked his teacher why there are no green stars. And all he needed to really do is hop on the net and get a good there are no true green stars in the night sky because of how stars emit light and how human eyes see color. Let's see. Black body radiation. Stars emit light across the entire rainbow spectrum. A star with a temperature peaking in the green wavelength also emits heavy amounts of red and blue light. Color mixing. When our eyes receive a heavy mix of red, green, and blue light from a star, our brains perceive the combination as white rather than green. So those are the primary light colors. Instead of red, yellow, and blue, we got red, green, and blue for the light primary colors. So when you got all three, you get white. There are some optical illusions where some might look greenish. A couple of planets in particular, Uranus and Neptune. Uranus is kind of a blue-green. If you look at it through a telescope, more greenish with some blue in it, while Neptune is more bluish with some greenish in it, green tints in it. Planets do have color. You'll see reds and whites, in the stripes of Jupiter oranges and browns and things like that across the face when you get close up. But definitely, if you have a chance to take a look at Uranus, has a greenish tinge to it, while Neptune has more of a bluish tinge to it. So you will see colors there. So that's the short answer, Joe, over there. I didn't take a half an hour explaining it. So anybody else from YouTube, post over there. So post over there in YouTube and I'll pass that along. Yeah, so we got Mike in Oklahoma, KO5AOK, and we got Caleb in Lafayette, KF0UPB, both over there on YouTube. If you got any questions, post them over there. But appreciate you checking in. Next on the list is Moy down in Texas, N5ZIQ. Good evening to you, Moy. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Good evening, KF0AR, Mr. Barnes. How's everybody tonight? Finally got a few clear nights over here. Had a few days of some very heavy thunderstorms where we actually had some pretty good flooding about last Thursday. So that was quite a bit of fun swimming time for some folks. We're experiencing some very nice clear skies here in the last couple of days, and looking forward to full moon tomorrow night. It should be a nice evening to check out the moon and a couple of other western sky stars and planets. So it sounds great. I'm looking that I might have a little time tomorrow night to try that. So yeah, anyway, y'all have a great evening, and we'll talk to you next time. By the way, great comments on the colors rendered from different chemistry. So thank you again. All right, sir. Talk to you next time. This is N5 ZIQ. Back to Mission Control. See you.
All right, Mo, I appreciate that. Yeah. And another another star is Alberio, a double star in the constellation of Cygnus the Swan. Um, what we like to call here in Colorado the Bronco stars shine as blue and orange. uh, so take a look at that one. That's Alberio in the head of the Cygnus the Swan. Um, or like I said, the Bronco stars. There we go. Almost Bronco season here in Colorado. So take a look at that for sure. This is KI0AR net control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Next on the list is Ron up in Berthoud, KF0VLO. Good evening to you, Ron. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. All right, next on the list, Danny in Highlands Ranch, KF0WXE. Also posted a question over on YouTube. What does everybody think about the space mirror proposal that was just approved? As long as they don't shine it down at the at the Earth, which unfortunately I think they're gonna do. We don't need any more sunlight. There's enough sunlight pouring down, heating up the planet as it is. At least that's my opinion, Danny. Danny, what's your opinion? Since you checked in online, go ahead.
Hey, Bernard, this is KF0WXE. I've been sort of following the news about the space mirror that they want to cruise. I'm not sure where their plans are with launching it, but I definitely am concerned. It doesn't seem like a great idea. They claim it would be good for disaster area elimination and warfare, and but also opponents have meant that the wildlife will suffer, and also astronomy will suffer. I think there's been a lawsuit brought against it by astronomy people. I'm not sure who, I can't remember exactly, but yeah, that's my opinion. The space mirror that they're sending up to replace sunlight at Earth. Not a great plan, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly for those reasons. Now, if they could pinpoint on a multitude of solar arrays and generate a lot more solar power or solar energy with a focused beam as opposed to just gathering up, maybe so, but uh, yeah, but having a magnifying glass burn a hole through the atmosphere, uh, like let's say, not cool, dude, not cool. I don't want to be that ant underneath that magnifying glass. That's for sure. All right, Daniel, appreciate the comments. Appreciate there. Appreciate you sharing that with us. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Next on the list is David in Ohio. WE8M. Good evening to you, David. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Good evening, birds. Everyone else on the net. I haven't really been doing anything in astronomy the last couple of weeks. I've been focusing on Plota hunting, and I just activated my first part today. So anyway, that's kind of off topic for the net, so I'll turn it back to you. Good evening, 73 WDAN.
Oh, very cool, David. Very cool that you activated your first park on the air. I need to do that myself. I finally got a rig and working on a laptop. I got a one laptop, but I got to plug it in to keep it going. I need a power supply. I'm fixing up another laptop, so that's another project that I gotta, and I'll sync that up with the laptop that's working now but requires a power supply, and work on the laptop that has a good battery. Um, and hopefully activate my park soon enough and do the same as you there, David. There's a nice big park fairly close, and maybe even get Wi-Fi out there as well. So yeah, congrats on that. Hope to be following fairly soon on that as well, because I want to take some road trips and activate some parks across the U.S. But appreciate your comments and appreciate you checking in tonight. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Next on the list is Don up in Ontario, VE3LJU. Good evening to you, Don. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. Next on the list is Ed in Broomfield, W6RDZ. Good evening to you, Ed. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
This is Ed, W6RDZ. Just stepping out of the car. That's the department. I don't see anything up there in the sky. Nothing out yet. That's all I have for you. W6RDZ, back to net control.
All right, Ed. No worries. Appreciate you doing the rocket report. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. And Ken, we got you on the list. And V7SS, thanks for checking in tonight. Let's see, where were we? Dave up in Evergreen, AF0AS. Good evening to you, Dave. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. Okay, we had a shortwave listener out there over on NetLogger, checked in and out. Did not give a name, but that's all right. We got it on the list. Do appreciate anybody coming in and listening, no matter how they get in there. Next on the list is Daryl up in Wyoming, W3ORR. Good evening to you, Daryl. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. We're getting a lot of kerchunks of the of the repeater tonight, so I don't know what's going on with that. And just a reminder, like Jack says, our fearless leader on Skyhub Link, any kerchunk is still a transmission, and any unidentified kerchunk is a violation of FCC rules. That's an unidentified signal or transmission. So if you're out there kerchunking, you may want to be aware of that. So please identify yourself. All right, we'll call for check-ins at the end of the list. Next on the list is Patrick in Tennessee, K9NOC. Good evening to you, Patrick. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Hey, brother. I got no traffic tonight. I've been Rich Show, I'm tuning in all the time, and I'll see you next week.
All right, Patrick, appreciate that. Appreciate your comments and appreciate you checking in tonight and staying up late with us too, since you're out in Tennessee. They're 2 hours ahead of us. Next on the list is Bill in Fowler, KF0YLH. Again, Bill, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. Welcome to the ham bands as well. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead. Next on the list is Chad in Highlands Ranch, KF0UUC. Good evening to you, Chad. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Good evening. Thanks for the net. Nothing much here. Just looking at these pictures from Roy. Wow, they're really impressive. I had a question too. So Saturday before last, up in the hills, nice clear night, almost dark sky night. Looking at the Milky Way, nice clear view of the Milky Way. So my question is, what galaxies can you see with the naked eye? Is there any other ones besides like Andromeda galaxies? Just curious when I'm looking up at the sky, am I looking at only the Milky Way or what else am I looking at based on the next time view?
Yeah, Chad, under dark skies, you will see Andromeda with the naked eye. That's about the only one besides our own Milky Way from the inside out. The Milky Way actually subtends about 3 to 4 full moon widths up in the sky, so it's actually quite huge. Much better to see through a pair of binoculars. It's actually incredible through a pair of binoculars if you know exactly where to look. I think that's the only one with a visible magnitude. Most of the other galaxies are too dim, greater than 6 magnitude. So you definitely need binoculars or a telescope to spot them. Most in the 8 to 9, 10 range and dimmer for sure. Yeah, get out there, look for Andromeda, do a little star hopping. It's actually fairly easy if you know exactly where to look, but definitely mount those binoculars on a tripod and then take a look. It is just incredible to see that through binoculars under a dark sky. Not so much under the full moon. All right, Chad, hopefully that answers your question. Yeah, Andromeda is one of those summer constellations that you can, or Andromeda is one of those summer objects that you can see. Um, the easiest way to find that is if you find the Great Square of Pegasus. When you're looking at it, it looks like a baseball diamond. Go from third base, you'll see a very, very elongated V, and you go through the upper part of that V to the second star, and then just above that you'll see a little fuzzy patch. Point your binoculars in that general vicinity, and you should see Andromeda. What we really see through a telescope is the nucleus. However, with binoculars, you see most of the whole thing. So there you go. Yeah, and you definitely have to have the dark sky. So wait 2 weeks. So wait till the Perseid meteor shower. Then get out there and really enjoy the stars for sure. All right, Chad, appreciate your question, appreciate your comments, and appreciate you checking in tonight. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Next on the list is Paul in Utah, WA7GVL. Good evening to you, Paul. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Good morning, good evening, Cuberness, and good evening to the rest of the net. I have been traveling for the past week. I'm for the Sheriff's Department here and had training all last week in Washington, Spokane, Washington. So I'm trying to catch up after a 16-and-a-half-hour drive there and a 16-and-a-half-hour drive back, and just trying to get my brain wrapped around the time frame. And we've got a lot of clouds in the sky, so no night sky viewing for me, not to mention smoke from the fires. And I'll turn it back to you, WA7GBL.
All right, Paul. Yeah, after 16 hours, I think I would have crashed. So I do appreciate you checking into the net tonight and staying up with us as well. So I do appreciate your comments and appreciate you checking in tonight. Next on the list over on YouTube, Stephen. KM6BAY up in Fort Collins. I think you're in Fort Collins, or are you down in the Springs again? Either way, wherever you are, Stephen, if you've got any questions, comments, just post them over in the chat window there. Appreciate you checking in. Actually, sometimes you check. I'm just going to call on you anyway because sometimes you check in on both sides. KM6BAY, Stephen, what have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. Okay, next on the list is Robert in Texas, AA5AH. Good evening to you, Robert. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. Okay, this is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. We got a few more, still a few more on the on the list here. Again, welcome to Joe in Texas over on YouTube. Do appreciate you checking in, Joe. Hopefully, we'll hear you on amateur radio one of these days. And checking into the net, but definitely appreciate your earlier questions and comments over there on YouTube. So thanks for that. Interesting question about green stars. I had to look that up myself, and I'm glad you shared that with us and got your answer from your astronomy professor. Definitely keep asking those questions. Keep on asking. This is a learning net, and we're all learning. And I've been doing this, like I said, 30 years. I'm still learning something. So that's cool. Again, welcome to the net, and appreciate you checking in over there. Next on the list is Rick in Ontario, VA3RKL. Good evening to you, Rick. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. Okay, next on the list is Lynn, KI5WWU. Good evening to you, Lynn. Again, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead. Next on the list is Phil in Texas, KJ5RAC. Good evening to you, Phil. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. Okay, we got George over on YouTube checked in tonight. Do appreciate you checking in, George, and liking both the ham radio and astronomy. So I'd appreciate that, and welcome to the net. Next on the list, Ken, NV7SS. Good evening to you, Ken. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. And we got Jack checked in, KE0VH over on YouTube. All right, Jack, appreciate you checking in over there. Yeah, no worries. All right. And thanks for the stream last night, and we'll check in tomorrow with your stream again. Check out Jack, Captain Jack Flight Sims live stream tomorrow night on YouTube at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time. All right, we are at the bottom of the list and just past the top of the hour, so I'll go ahead and open up the net For anybody else, questions, comments, late check-ins before I wrap up the net for this evening. If you are a late check-in, please call with your call sign phonetically twice. Okay, anybody else? Questions, comments, late check-ins, please call KI0AR now.
Hey, Bernard, this is KS0WXC Danny. I have one more little comment about the space mirror. If I have time for it.
Sure, Danny, KF0WXC, go ahead.
So the company that's launching the satellite goes by the name of Orbital, and they were approved by the FCC launch of a satellite, Arendelle 1, which is a demonstration satellite, and it has faced significant opposition, and despite that, it was approved by the FCC. And that's the launch that seems to be going ahead with it, and I just wanted to bring up the fact that organization.
All right, Danny, thanks for sharing that. We'll look and see what happens with that. I'm sure we'll hear about its launch soon enough on the Rocket Report from Ed there, but we'll stay tuned for more on that one. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you sharing that with us. All right, one more call. Last call. Anybody else? Questions, comments, late check-ins before I go ahead and wrap up the net for this evening? Please call KI0AR now. All right, this is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the net for this evening. I'd like to thank the, 27 check-ins tonight. Great turnout, appreciate that. Hopefully we'll hear from everybody next Tuesday night for another session of the Colorado Astronomy Net. I'd like to thank the Rocky Mountain Radio League for the use of their repeater systems. Also like to thank the SkyHub Link group for all the ways that you guys can link into the Colorado Astronomy Net. All right, there you go. Danny is posted over on the YouTube comment, so I do appreciate everybody checking in on YouTube as well, so thanks for that, and welcome to all the new check-ins both on the air and on YouTube. Check out skyhublink.com, skyhublink.com for more ways that you can check into the net, so I do appreciate that. With that, I will say 73 and keep looking up. This is KI0AR. I'm clear.
I get a radio check?
KF0YLF. I think that was it. You're solid into the repeater systems. Go ahead.